went there today in the invitation and said, "Let's call our guides in. Let's do this thing. Let's really connect to some guides." I had a lovely weekend of painting. So I put my paintings behind me because my paintings are of well, there's an older one behind there too. There's three different what I consider to be some of my guides. So when I paint or draw, I'm connecting always in a relationship with that. I used to call it a goddess. Now I think of her a little bit more like a guide. S- doesn't have a lot of language for me, but it's definitely a felt experience. So, having done that all weekend, I felt pretty right about today's meditation, and I'm going to share a slide with you guys now just to walk you through the steps. I think it's really good to um I'm sorry, I'm going to put it in big mode. Um my computer's a little slow. I apologize. There we go. Hopefully you guys can all see my screen. So I like to talk about the steps of a meditation before we start, just to be really clear and intentional. And sometimes, sometimes it won't go exactly in these 7 steps, because intuition and messages from like when I'm leading from the guides that are assisting are more important to me than the outline. But I also think it's really nice to know what's in a meditation outline as a person doing the meditation, so you're not like surprised. I have to admit, sometimes I listen to meditations when I'm asleep that I put on, like, just kind of like sleeping meditations, and I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm hearing these messages being said to me, and I'm like, oh, wish I had read that script before I played it into my unconscious. So that's one of the reasons I do this. So it's just to be very clear with everyone and upfront with what the stages of the meditation are. We're also going to do a little preparation before we start that I'm just going to call getting the wiggles out. I know that's something you might do like in kindergarten, but I think as grown-ups we also need to sometimes get the wiggles out before we meditate. So we're going to choose the kind of support we need from a guide, an angel, a ancestor, a um as I was preparing for today, I kept getting the sense of an imaginary friend. What is an imaginary friend? Like when you're a kid, maybe it's a guide. We're going to ground our energy so that we're really present and in our body. And then we're going to prepare our system with some breathing, some extra degrees of kindness, and energy awareness. And actually, in the beginning, getting the wiggles out, we're also getting aware of our energy. And in the whole meditation, one thing that we're doing is we're entering a frequency of energy that for us is, I'm searching for the correct word, but like for each of us, it's going to be a little bit different, of course, but it'll be a little bit more than our ordinary energy, a little more expanded. The frequency might be clearer. It might be a little bit more, it's going to be different for everyone, but often it feels a little more delicate, and the atmosphere of that frequency might come with some feelings of some kind, some downloads of information, some feelings in the body. It's going to be different for everyone, but it's a shift in our frequency. And I think the more we meditate, the more quickly we go into this elevated, expanded frequency, connected frequency. And we're going to talk to our body and listen to our body. And it might be that two parts of our body talk, I'm not sure. Then we're going to imagine a landscape or realm of guides and angels. So this is a little different than I've done in the past. And it's going to be through that atmosphere of that landscape or that realm or that whatever you envision it as. It could be a garden, it could be a planet, it could be a island, it could be a room in a house. but that landscape will help to invite your guides and angels to give you the support you already chose that you want today. And then we're going to allow that divine frequency that's being supported by guides and angels, whether or not you can hear them or imagine them. It really doesn't matter. Often for me, it's just a sense of that support. It's not an actual voice or an actual image. It's more just that quality of sensing being supported. And we're going to let that fill and surround us. And if we wish, we can send that out um, to the universe and feel it coming back into our heart and have a bit of that exchange of universal love in that frequency. Okay. So the reason I'm doing the meditation like this today, not only was I painting on the weekend, but it really was a little like home retreat. Mark had to go out of town and our kids were all busy. So even though I did get to see a couple girlfriends, it was a lot of me time. And I was practicing somatic yoga. And when practicing yoga, I suddenly felt two guides on either side of me practicing yoga. And I was like, wow, when doing yoga or taking a walk, what a good time to connect with guides. Like, hadn't really thought of doing that before intentionally, but it really worked for me. So, this led to this group today and the decision to call in guides for a specific support we want. So, what is yours? Decide now what kind of support, whether or not you truly believe in guides and angels, doesn't really matter. What kind of support as a human do you need in your life right now? It could be just an emotion like, I need reassurance. I need safety. I need confidence. I need motivation. Or it could be very specific. I need to make this decision. I need to take this action. Just noticing where in you or where in your life or where in your emotional landscape or in your body or in your relationships you want this support to be directed. And if it helps you to write it down or to say it internally in your heart. And because I'm guiding the meditation, I'm asking for the support from my guides in guiding the meditation today. So if some of your meditation guides, this is always a nice option. You're never alone. You're always being supported by your divine support team when you ask. It's like okay, this is going to age me, guys. You remember dial tones? Remember picking up the phone and hearing a dial tone? Well, when we ask for the support, we might ohm, and the ohm is like the universal dial tone. So let's just allow ourselves to. I'm not going to ohm because I want you to hear your own ohm. You're muted, so no one else will hear you. And I'll ohm on the inside. Take a moment just to set that universal dial tone. And then from there, let's get a little wiggles out. Let's wiggle our fingers, our shoulders. What wants to wiggle? Any energy needing a little wiggling out? Ah. Maybe a little head twisting, maybe something needs to crack. And as you do that, as you shake it out, you're also clearing. You're clearing your energy, emotional space in you, around you. You might imagine like a beautiful energy shower. And maybe it's a shower of starlight or water or something else, love. Just doing that clearing, getting the wiggles out. Okay. Now we're just going to begin to hold our hands together a little, feeling the energy in our hands and the palm of our hands. And when you're ready, you might even rub the hands together and then slowly bring them apart, just feeling that feeling of space between your hands, space around your hands. And as you connect to the space growing between your hands, see what it's like just to imagine a beautiful egg shape, like a sphere all around your body of light, of presence, your own energy bubble, safe and secure. And let your hands go to your legs and just gently let the hands go over the thighs, maybe resting on the knees, the sides of the legs. This is a very soothing gesture. It's a way to connect with the lower body. And from there, let's just sigh a couple times. Take a nice in breath and just let it out in a sigh. And after that sigh, just feel the energy through the middle of your body. And now let's take some deep breaths. So just breathing in and letting the breath fill your whole body, all the way to your toes, your hair, and slowly exhaling through the mouth. Long, slow exhale. Just trusting your way of doing this. Let's do about 5 deep breaths like this, inhaling really fully, filling up every ounce of you. And then slow as you can, exhaling through the mouth. You might hear it. And there might be a pause at the end or the beginning of the breath cycle, feeling the space of that pause as you hold the breath. You've probably done a couple breaths by now, so just 2 more. And when at the top of the breath, see if you can just let yourself become a little taller, a little wider, taking up presence in your body. And with the exhale, just allowing everything to relax and let go as you exhale fully. And from here, we're just going to imagine that we are an ancient tree, a tree of wisdom, a tree of warmth, a tree of shelter. And imagining you are this tree in a very special forest or place in the world. Perhaps there is a tree somewhere that right now is feeling your connection. Embodying this tree in your own way, let yourself feel the connection with the earth. Breathing and imagining how a tree connects through its roots into every bit of earth, growing every year, not only in its outside growth, but in its inner growth, deepening down into earth, supported by this incredible network of roots that bring in stability, safety, presence, self nurturing, acceptance. And let's just rest for a moment with our hands either on the heart or the belly or one on each or somewhere else that feels right to be resting with the body as you just breathe and listen to yourself. You might say hello internally, ask yourself how you're doing, and notice as you receive an answer to the question, how am I? Notice if it's coming from a certain place in the body that would like to be communicated with. And in your own way, finding a place in your body that feels important to give attention to. It might be asking for that, or you might just want to give attention. Could be to the feet, to any place at all. And if it's easy for your hand to go there, you can always touch that place as well. The touch will bring your attention closer there. And let's just listen to what that place in our body might be telling us. And becoming aware of the way you communicate with your body, notice any changes in position, in the way you're breathing or feeling or thinking. And let's just take a really nice, sweet, kind, deep breath and full exhale, staying with that part of our body that we're talking to. Our breath is a form of communication, of healing, of giving, of receiving. Long exhale. And see if it feels good to add words to your breath, breathing in with a certain word or intention, and breathing out with a certain word or intention. It could be to relax or to release, to enliven, to enjoy, whatever it is. And let's just check out if this place in our body could give us directions like a map to another place in our body that is somehow needing a connection with that first place. So let your hand go there if it reaches, or just your awareness go to that second place. And just keeping a connection between these two places as you breathe again deeply, fully. Connecting two places in the body, creating a communication through your breath, your awareness, your inner kindness and love. See if there's something that wishes to be added to the deep breath. It could be a temperature, a feeling, a wish. It could just be sensing the body's connections and communications. And when you're ready, letting your hands go back to a more neutral position, rolling the shoulders. You might need a little wiggling. You might already be feeling a special frequency because you've been giving yourself self healing. And I like to just take a moment to hold the hands as though I'm holding a big energy ball between them, and just imagining that energy ball of healing, of kindness, of love, of inner support, imagining it radiating, and just knowing that this is you. This is your energy, this is your frequency, And it's also a soul frequency, a universal frequency. And from here, we're just going to let the hands go wherever they wish to go, choosing your own place, either on your lap, in your on your heart, whatever feels right. And taking a nice full breath. Well, let's begin to imagine a place in nature or another planet or a room in a home, whatever works for you, opening up to your intuition through your imagination. And this place is a place where guides and angels, ancestors, your divine support team, your soul support team. This is the realm of their comfortable, safe place. It might not be like what we find on Earth, or it might be. That's up to you to imagine in your own way. There could be specific colors or smells. And as you imagine, trust yourself, trust any thought or image that comes to you. It might not make sense now, but that's okay. See what it's like to make it your own in your own way, trusting your imagination and letting yourself add to it. Like new words, new senses. You can give it a little shaping and direction. And as you do this, you're co creating the personal self with the universal self, with the intuition, letting the body guide you as well into the felt experience of this realm, this landscape of guides and angels, knowing that you are also rooted and grounded, still in your energy bubble. And while being grounded, protected, there's a new vibration from this place. It may be a little bit more expanded. It may have a some kind of quality in your body or in your breath, in your thoughts, in what you see. And here, let's remember what we're asking our guides to help us with, to support us. Hold that intention in your heart. And just asking in your own way for the dear, kind support of guides and angels, calling in your guides and angels. Maybe you do this by imagining a phone call or a quiet whisper or some kind of metaphor like a bird, a musical sound. And just breathing and allowing the frequency, the connection with non ordinary reality. This is a time of being with the divine universe in a gentle way, knowing that your body is here, you're breathing, and your guides and angels are in some way offering you support. The body might give you messages, and just breathe with it. Any thoughts that are there might be thoughts that have an element of wisdom, information that you need right now. Feelings might be conveying qualities that will support you, qualities that need your attention or your release. So just trusting all information as you breathe and allow. Taking your time to allow, to feel, to be you, and letting go of any trying to create anything at all. Just being. It's okay for the mind to think. It's okay for the body to feel. It's okay to imagine or not imagine. As you rest here, you just allow everything to be as it is in this space, in this frequency. And if it helps you to scan your body from head to toe, you can do this. If it helps you to move your hands or sway your body or breathe in a certain way, move in a certain way, let the movement or the gesture come from the core. Almost like if you hear music and your body reacts to the music, you're listening to the universal frequency of your guides and angels, and you can allow it to move you. You can also allow it to help you be very still. And bringing your own human heart, your human caring, your human kindness and compassion, bringing that right now to the center of yourself, whatever that center place is. And take a breath there, imagining this very human compassion that is your birthright. And perhaps your guides and angels feel it. They feel your human kindness, and you feel their divine kindness. And in this experience, in this co feeling, there's a sharing, a connecting, and just letting that be in the whole body, the whole self. And if you wish, allowing it to spread all around you, Your hands might move out, just like the experience of waves of energy rolling in and rolling out. And just imagining in your own way this love spreading around you, through you, out into the world, into space, all time, and back to you, to your heart, to your center. And just knowing in this, you're both giving and receiving. And your guides, your angels are supporting you. Let your breath support you. Feel gratitude for yourself, for your divine support team, for the universe, for this moment. And coming back to that ancient tree, feeling grounded, rooted, supported, present, also loving and expanded, wide. Let yourself imagine there's a sun glowing within you, radiating out. And this sunshine touches all parts of yourself, your life, the people in your life. And this sunshine is always available. And when you're ready, just bringing your hands together, rubbing them together. And let your hands gently rest over your eyes like a bath of energy and light in your eyes. It's not light like a shining light, but it's like the light of your kindness. And if you'd like, you can open your eyes now and do a little scalp pull, massaging your head. You can also trace your eyes in a figure eight, going around the eyebrows, under the eyes, across the nose. You can let the hands make a figure eight. And if there's any energy to flick out of the fingers or the toes, coming back to our group. Yeah, that was so lovely. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Does anyone want to share or um, ask a question? You can raise your hand. You can share in the chat. Hi, Midori. For some reason, I'm not able to unmute you. Mark, I'm not sure if you're the host. Oh, there we go. Hi there.
Oh, hello, such a pleasure. That's so nice. Yeah. Oh, you really changed my life. Yeah, yeah. I just want to say thank you so much. Yeah, I was, it's a beautiful morning here in central Canada. It's just like my life. I'm going through like many transition at once. Like my soon be former husband of 25 years left five or 6 months ago, and I'm 55 and I am retiring like supposed to be, but now with his taking my half of the pension, so it's kind of transition as well. And my home of 18 years, now I might have to sell, but I'm trying to Yeah, maybe 7 ranges so that I can stay put for a little longer so that I can purge consciously. So
Yeah.
this
Oh, thank
this
you for
meditation is what I need. Yes.
oh, thank you for sharing. And I'm sending you a big hug. Yeah, I'm so glad you could be here in the group and if anyone wants to, just write to Midori and send some connection and support. I know this is a big transition time and we all send you wishes for this being whatever you want it to be right now this time. Yeah. And Marcus is there. Hi. It's been a little while since we've talked. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Good, thank you. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
So, first of all, I would like to say thank you because it has been a very long time since I fell in such deep trance when I was following a meditation. I mean, most of the time when meditations are successful, I allow them to kind of either it's on YouTube or something else. But it has been has been a very long time since I really almost switched off my brain and just I'm not sure what happened, but your guidance really got me deep. So just wanted to let you know that.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad. So good to hear. Yeah. And I think hopefully your guides were there supporting you in that deepness. That's what I think sometimes happens. We open to our guides. Who knows?
It could be, could
Could
be.
be.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Let me know if it's too personal. So what you talked about. So I'm wondering, are you a clairvoyant or clairaudient? Because you talked about you saw your guides and you heard messages. So this is an indication for me that it might be
Yeah.
that way. Is it that way?
I do sometimes hear messages. I
Okay.
also, the reason I do the communication is that I think it's important that we are communicating with our guides and angels and the divine, not just waiting for them to communicate. Um, I don't see visually guides or angels, but I feel them. And sometimes the feeling presents in a visual format, if that makes any sense. Um,
Yeah. Is it
yeah.
synesthesia? Because it's feeling, seeing. Is this synesthesia?
I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't think I'm like a technical synesthesia. Like when I read about it, I'm like, wow, that would be so cool. But I work hard on yeah, I guess opening up to all of this, but the way I sense the most is in the body and the energy. So often the the experience of being in a deep state for me is really in the body. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any advice? Because I think I am clear, whatever. So it's maybe remember I'm a synesthete, so I see emotion and color,
Uh-huh.
and so I think I'm technical. I'm technically a synesthete.
That's so exciting. Yeah, that's wonderful. So you see and you hear.
For the most part, I see emotion in color. I mean, also
Okay.
other senses, but
Yeah.
for my coaching and what I do, this is what I utilize. But I also basically all the senses are translated into color. So what I hear, what I taste, and so on and so forth. But it's just a bonus. But am so far I have not used it. But in my coaching, when I work with a person, then and I have rapport, all of a sudden I see the dynamics and I can read that and I can work with it. And it helps me to not allow a person to lie to themselves. If they want to change, then I can spot that and then I can lead. This it helps me that I can really be very sharp and I can observe very keenly. This is what allows me. And so it just happens. This is what the
Yeah.
nature of synesthesia is, that it just happens. I don't have to consciously work
Right.
to experience
Right.
that.
Right. That's beautiful. What a gift. Yeah.
And the question is, because it feels like I lost this intuition or this clear whatever, and I'm wondering, do you have any advice how I can can find it or get it back? Is it just fear? Did I close up or whatever?
That's interesting. So do you remember when it started to lessen or when you felt you lost it? What was
I
going on?
think I think it started when I developed social phobia 20 years ago. I mean, obviously, I don't have it anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a clear cut of my abilities. So I was in my
Okay.
20s or so, and then
Okay.
all of a sudden, I could not do the things that I could do before, and it
Mm-hmm.
was not clear from the beginning that I had it. I think I was diagnosed 2 years later that I had it when I was almost out. It was good because I did not put on the labels sociophobia because it would have been harder to get out. But I was diagnosed that I had it.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not tracking the timeline exactly, but w- s- when did you stop feeling that you could see the colors, or when was it lessening? It had to do with, or it
The,
didn't?
the color did not lessen, but I had quite strong guidance that I could switch on in a sense. So I
Uh-huh.
was there was this childish trust in or childlike trust in guidance.
Yeah.
So one example, I was in a foreign city, and I said I would like to go to this place, and for some reason something guided me there. It was very weird, and for some reason it worked because it was kind of almost like superstition,
Right.
and
Right.
I had and also other experiences that I was like whoa. So for example, I asked, is it safe to cross the street? And then some inner guide said me, well, it's safe. There is only a white car, but it's turning right then. And I was like, I have to see this. And I went back, and all of a sudden the car went like this. And I was like, this is insane. And so obviously I can do that, but it looks like I lost it.
Okay. Okay. So that's what you're wanting to open up to more. The synesthesia is still there, but you're wanting to open up more to this inner
The
guidance.
guidance, yes.
Yeah. So can you choose something that you would like guidance around every day and just ask and see what shows up? Would that be okay to do as an exercise?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's how we activate it. We actually, our personal self says, I want this. Show me something. And that's what this meditation in a way was about, how we can all ask for this kind of intuition that for some we could say it comes from our connection with the universal or with our guides. For some it might, they might have different language for it, but it's some kind of connection, some kind of in a way that we're opening up to. Would you say, or is that just my view? That when you have this intuition very, very vibrant in you, there's something you're in connection to.
I think it's about trust, and maybe I just need to learn to trust again, maybe because before it was
Okay.
just like I received it and I trusted it, and now when it broke, it kind of like I trusted the external guidance more than my inner guidance, and it was not good that I did that because sometimes my inner guidance is much stronger than other people could give me.
Okay. 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 So I think you pinpointed there that it's about that trust for you.
So it's about the trust. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would also work with if there's a way to imagine that trust or to speak it
Mhm.
and ask it to return.
Speak
That
it. Speak the trust.
it sounds like you're very good at visualizing. I know some people might be listening to this and applying it to themselves. We can also speak it to ourselves, like, I'm opening up to my inner guidance and trust right now. And by giving it
Stating the intention.
language, it activates it.
So stating the intention is almost like an incantation, correct?
Yes, I don't like the word incantation, but I do like the intention setting and that feeling that the words give us, But if you like the word incantation, perfect.
Why don't you
Um,
like it?
I don't know. I don't know. Past life thing? I don't know.
That's funny. Okay, but I'm good with intention.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No,
see
but
what you
whatever
mean.
word works for you. We all have the
Yeah,
words that work for us and
I
don't
see what
work
you
for
mean.
us.
So
So
yeah,
yeah.
so just saying it out loud. Okay. I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Wonderful sharing. Thank you so much. I think that's going to help a lot of people, Marcus.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So, I'm trying to remember, there's a book about synesthesia. If anyone was listening and was curious, there's this wonderful, like, young adult book actually about a girl who has synesthesia. Any of you guys know the title I'm talking about?
A mango-shaped space.
Thank you, Mark. A mango-shaped space. And it's I remember reading it with our kids long ago. It's an incredible book. Anyone here want to just in chat or out loud state your intention for opening up a certain type of intuition or connection? I think it's good to kind of end today with a clarity in yourself of where and how you would like intuition or guidance or connection with non-ordinary reality to be experienced. And Salma. But everybody do that for themselves before they leave today, okay? Hi, Salma. How are you? I don't hear you yet. It might be your headset. Hmm. I asked to unmute again. Let's see. Nope.
How
Oh,
about now?
yes, now. Great. Perfect.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
So nice to see you back.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't able to be here at the beginning of the meditation. I didn't do it with you guys, but I just wanted to say, Papa, say hi, hello.
Hi. Good to have you here for part of it. I'll put up the replay and email everybody too. So.
All right, that's great of you. I wanted specifically to thank you for your persistence with these meditations that you still do.
Oh,
Each and every Monday, there's like
yeah.
around the room with Meg.
Yeah.
Well, beautiful faces that I see here, beautiful souls. It's just feels so good to be somewhere where you feel like, even though you don't know each face, but you feel a certain connection, like you belong. And that's it. That's
Oh,
what I have to say.
thank you for sharing that. I think so many feel that. Thank you. You gave me an idea.
Yes,
What?
I hope you were doing better.
Oh, I had a couple Mondays where I was a little under the weather. Yeah. Well, one was just an internet problem, but yes, but I'm back to Mondays.
All right, that's great to hear.
Yeah, good to see you. So why don't we go to gallery view again and just do that sense of seeing either each other's video or pictures, and just the way Salma was talking about just appreciating these are people all over the world that meditate with you, with each of us. It's really many, I mean, I know many of you, but I think many of you know each other now. And it's so cool. And if we hadn't gotten some great shares, I was going to put us all into small groups, but let me know if if that's ever something you want. You can always write to me ideas, or if you just want to do more connecting with people after the meditation. I'm really happy to host that. I was on social media, of course, like all of us, and I saw a post by someone that in I'm forgetting if it was Denmark or somewhere in Europe, they're doing a thing in the libraries where instead of taking out a book, you can take out a person to talk to for half an hour. And the people like title themselves like something going on for them. Like it might be bipolar, it might be monk, refugee, dad, whatever it is. And you sit for half an hour with that person that you would check out a book from the library, and you hear their story for half an hour. And I thought, like, in our community, we get to do that sometimes here by connecting with a stranger and hearing someone's life that we would have never met in any other way. It's just so amazing. But I'm really interested in trying to do more of that, just connection between people, not for any purpose, not for coaching or meditation or any agenda except just to know another person somewhere in the world that is different for us and talk to them. I believe there's a sort of sacred connection that can form in these moments of connecting with someone we would normally never meet otherwise, and we can do that in this space. um, so I might send you guys an invitation for some kind of meeting like that, where that's the only purpose, for all of us to meet with a new person. I feel that airplanes are my place to do that. I love the randomness of who I sit next to on an airplane, but we can do that on Zoom too. All right, guys, be well, everyone. And let me know if you think that would be a fun idea or you think I'm just a little nuts. I mean, I know I'm a little nuts. Okay, bye, guys. Be well. Have a happy Monday. Hope that we meditate together again soon.